Okay, let's dive into one of the biggest paradoxes out there in business and honestly in life. It's this strange idea that your success right now could actually be the biggest thing standing in the way of your success down the road. This is all about why you have to be the one to shake things up before someone else does it for you. So let me just start by asking you this. What if that one thing that's making you so successful today, that product that sells like crazy, that super efficient process you've perfected, what if that's actually your biggest vulnerability tomorrow? It's kind of a tough thing to think about, but trust me, it is the absolute key to long-term survival. You see, here's the fundamental problem. Success makes you slow. It kills any sense of urgency. I mean, when everything's going great, why would you want to change, right? That feeling of comfort, though, it's a trap. So we're going to break down exactly why that is, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. And that brings us to our first big idea here, the comfort trap. This is that really dangerous place you get to where everything feels stable, it feels strong, but what's really happening is you're just blind to a huge threat that's building up. It's kind of like that perfect sunny day right before a hurricane that nobody saw coming. It's such a simple idea, but it's incredibly powerful. When all your systems are running smoothly and the money is coming in predictably, it gives you this feeling of security. But here's the thing, that security is often totally false. It just tricks you into thinking that tomorrow is going to look exactly like today. All right, so if stability is a trap, how are we supposed to think about the real dangers? Well, it all comes down to understanding that there are two totally different kinds of risk. And guess what? Most leaders, they're focused on the wrong one. First up, you've got what's called execution risk. Now, this is the obvious one, right? This is the fear of messing up what you've already got going, that profitable thing that's working right now. It's the risk of, say, launching a new project and it just completely flops, or changing a process that ends up breaking the whole system. It's immediate, you can see it, and man, it feels very, very real. But then there's this other kind of risk, existential risk. And this one's the silent killer. It's that slower, creeping danger of the world just changing around you, making your amazing business model totally obsolete. This is the risk of becoming the next blockbuster in a world that's already moved on to streaming. So when you put them side by side, the difference is just crystal clear. Execution risk is all about breaking what works today. Existential risk is about becoming completely irrelevant tomorrow. One's an operational problem, the other is a vision problem. And here is the absolute crux of the issue. Most leaders are just hardwired to fear execution risk because it's staring them right in the face. The consequences are immediate. So they completely ignore existential risk because it feels so far away, it's abstract, and it definitely doesn't show up on this quarter's earnings report. Well, not until it's way, way too late. Now, to really see how this plays out, let's look at a company that got this difference better than pretty much anyone else, Netflix. I mean, really think about this for a second. Back in the mid-2000s, Netflix's DVD by mail business was an absolute cash machine. So the execution risk of them pouring millions of dollars into this clunky, low-quality streaming service was just massive. They were literally eating their own lunch. But they knew the existential risk of staying with physical DVDs was so much bigger. So they made a choice. They accepted the short-term execution risk to avoid the long-term existential one. They built the future before they were forced to. Okay, so it's easy for us to sit here and say, yeah, just be like Netflix. But how in the world do you actually know when it's the right time to make that huge disruptive leap? Well, it turns out there's a pretty clear, practical framework to help you make that call. So this framework basically lays out two different scenarios. It's not just about if you should change. It's about learning to spot the green lights, the signs that tell you it's a good time for proactive change, and the red lights, which are the warning signs that you've probably waited way too long. So let's check out the green lights first. The absolute best time to make a big change is when your main business is still making enough money to fund some new experiments. It's when your customers trust you enough that they'll follow you on a new journey. And, this is critical, it's when a failure is survivable, meaning this new thing can completely bomb and it won't take the whole company down with it. But if you wait, you hit the danger zone. When the cash is already starting to dry up, you're not innovating anymore, you're just panicking. When you suddenly realize you don't even have the skills you need to compete, you're just desperately trying to catch up. And when time is no longer a luxury, well, the market has already made the decision for you. You're out of options. So this framework isn't just some abstract theory, It's a real tool that you can apply directly to the challenges that pretty much every business and frankly every professional is facing right now. Just think about the biggest shifts happening today. Moving your business to a subscription model, trying to figure out AI and how to use it, dealing with some old legacy system. For any of these big changes, you can use this framework to ask the right questions. Do we have the green lights right now? Are we acting from a position of strength? Or are we just waiting for those red lights to start flashing when it's already too late? And that really brings us to the single most important takeaway from this whole thing. If you remember nothing else, remember this. The absolute best time to change your model, to reinvent your strategy, to disrupt yourself is precisely when it feels like you don't need to. Because that's the moment you actually have the money, the trust, and the time to get it right. So we'll end by just turning that question right back to you. Take a hard look at your business, your team, or maybe even just your own career path. Are you stuck in that comfort trap? Are you losing sleep over small execution risks while a giant existential one is creeping up on you? Based on everything we've just talked about, is it time to disrupt yourself?